What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in these streets. I'm back in these work streets. You know, I got to keep that NFL way. They some greedy goblins. You know what I'm saying? They see any little NFL on there, they're gonna try to take my money, and you ain't getting it today, dog. So, you know what I mean? Let me stay right over here and away from that football. But hey, Cowboys won after 5 straight losses. Cowboys won and beat my most hated rival. Now, we did best of enemies with my guy George, and we're gonna have a great best of enemies, George. Oh boy, we're gonna have a great best of enemies. But I did tell you in that beginning of best enemies, George, I did tell you, I think your team's a little overrated. I don't think your defense is all that. I said your offense covered up for your defensive woes, and now that your offense was struggling a little bit, them warts from the defense were going to show, and that's why you've been losing these games. So yeah, man, I had to take a quick pause because, you know, I'm in these work streets. But yeah, man, I told you, George, I ain't say your team was fraudulent, but I kind of did say they was fraudulent, you know, with that team. And Dallas Cowboys, my guy Mike Fisher said that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be on their list of interviews. Take that interview off. Don't nobody want no Cliff Kingsbury here. Bro, he ain't, no. Just take him off the interview because ain't nobody, no. So anyway, it feels good. I know we all been talking about the tanking and getting a high draft pick and getting you a top player and all that. I feel all that, but I don't give a hell. I was feeling all that, and I even talked to George when we were off camera, like, yeah, you know what, this one game, y'all gonna get this, and I ain't gonna trip because we ain't good. And I said we could beat them, but I didn't think we would. Now, when that game started, I was like, man, I don't care about winning. But once that game started and I seen Washington, nah, dog, I was like, I hate them, and we got to beat them. Man, my word be staying busy up here. I'm going to have to get off here real quick because it's crazy up in here. These people, we act like we the only dry cleaners out here, but that's cool. We the best ones out here. You know why. Just saying. But yeah, man, that was a crazy game. Like I watched it like 3 times again last night. I watched it again this morning. As a matter of fact, it's on this TV right now, but I ain't showing it because y'all ain't taking my money. So, what can I say, man? I'm happy. I know, like I said, it was Team Tank. You wanted to get this great draft pick and all that, but you got CD at 17. You got Mike at 12. Big things happen in the draft. We know it's not a science. We know, yes, those top guys are probably not going to drop out of that top 5. But funny things happen in the draft. You cannot predict it. You cannot predict that draft. So anything can happen. I'm going to just live off that right now. Because at the end of the day, F the Commanders. F them whole-ass Commanders. I don't like them. That is my number 1 most hated team. I can't stand them. Never liked them. As soon as I seen that when they were getting kick off and I seen all that red and all that stuff, I was like, nah, dog. F them. I want to beat them. And shout out to the Cowboys for showing up, coming to the game. Shout out to that defense. Shout out to Mike Zimmer. Grandpa, you know I've been on your neck, Grandpa. You called a hell of a game. I love how you put pressure on them the whole time. You didn't show no respect to Cliff Kingsbury, whatever the hell his name is. Don't interview him. I heard he's on the short list. Don't interview him. I said don't interview him. And because Mike Zimmer wasn't showing you no respect. He was blitzing you damn near every down. And every time you got into a passing down, he was bringing that heat. You feel me? So we saw the game. I'm going to pull up this right quick. My dog Don White had a little bucket list of, his wishes for, signings, offseason, things of that nature. I'm going to totally agree with it. Just to give, he said, an update. Shout out to you, Dom. This was a great list. I agree with all of it. Cowboys should extend Micah Parsons, left guard Tyler Smith, and Deron Bland. Yes, all 3. I agree. Figure it out. Make it happen. Now, y'all know when we been doing these shows with me and Mike White, Mike threw it out there about, think about, Parsons. He going to give you one of them mercurial trades because he's that guy. And I was like, you know what? I'm on that because of what he can bring to the table, how you can get back on. But then I started thinking, like, We're dealing with the Joneses, and we're dealing with goofies. They don't know how to do that. They knew how to do that back then with Jimmy with them. Jimmy, that wasn't no Jerry that did all that damn blockbuster trade with Herschel Walker. You was just a plug and had the money. That was Jimmy. So I don't trust that you would do the right thing because you screwed up Amari Cooper. You screwed up all kind of deals getting people with less value. Y'all don't know how to trade and trade out. No. So I don't even want y'all touching that. So anything I put in the air about Micah Parsons, possibly, let's just look into it. No. I'm taking it all back. I'm taking it all back out the air. I'm putting it all in my mouth, and I'm shutting up about Micah Parsons. I ain't saying nothing else about him no more. The man already, I ain't never said that man wasn't no animal and wasn't no dog. I ain't like the podcast, but hell, you a beast. He a beast, bro. 8 tackles, 2 sacks. And Philly, when you just came back, I think he had 2 sacks in that game. He's a difference maker, and that defense is just different when he's in there. Like I said, when D-Law was there, everybody tried to say he was the guy. He was the difference maker. No, he wasn't. D-Law is just a good player, but he ain't no difference maker like Micah. And even in Micah's rookie year, when he sat out, I said, watch how that defense looks different when Micah ain't in there. It's regular, even with D-Law. So you see D-Law's out. You ain't even talking about D-Law right now, are you? So as people always talking about D-Law, this, D-Law, that, D-Law. Okay, I ain't hating on you, dog, but ain't nobody talking about you. That defense played pretty good without you. You know why? Because it's Micah Parsons and not no damn D-Law. I think it's time to just go ride in the sunset. That's me. And all you D-Law lovers, y'all can be lovers. I'm good because that defense ain't no different when D-Law in there. It's different when Micah Parsons is, though. Facts. So I told you the names right there for the extensions. I'm feeling that, Dom. And then re-sign Chauncey Golston. You earned yourself a contract. You was always a guy that was going to be one of those handyman guys, the toolbox guys, jack of all trades, master of none, even though there's more with that. You can do everything. I said you was, when you coming out of college, you were more better inside than outside because you just didn't have that twitch coming off the edge, but you could do multiple things. And Chauncey Golston, he's been playing his ass off. That dude done earned a contract. And I don't feel like you're going to have a huge market, so you'll be perfect for the Cowboys to sign because you're going to be cheap. Jordan Lewis, I'm cool with Jay Lou, even though you almost gave up that game with that crazy play with Terry. But I like Jay Lou. I always like Jay Lou, even though I had some back and forth with him. All right, so as I was saying, Jay Lou, I'm good with Jay Lou coming back. I just made a tweet about Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle showed me in these 2 years, you stayed injury-free this year. Last year, you showed me a little something. But like I said, Rico is not no difference maker. But, man, he runs hard. He's great in the screen game. He can pick up blitz game. He's still only 26 years old. If you're wanting to start a team, running back in this draft, I'm saying keep him because that's a good 1-2 combination. I like what Rico brings to the table, and he don't say nothing. He keeps his mouth closed, head down, and just goes to work. So I love everything about Rico. So bring him back. Brock Hoffman, I told y'all, I'm cool with Brock Hoffman. He's a backup. He's a damn good backup. He's scrappy. He's nasty. He's all that. But like I said, he ain't no starter. He's a backup, and he's a nasty one. So as long as y'all keeping him in that aspect, I'm all for keeping Brock Hoffman. Wanye, I'm cool with bringing Wanye back, even though you got touched up a little bit yesterday. We was out there really hyping you. You got touched up a little bit, and you did some goofy things out there, Wanye, but that's all right. You're still young. You was undrafted, so I expect these things because you ain't really getting no work, so I don't expect you to come in hair on fire. But that was a great play with the onside kick. They probably told you, go to the ground, but I ain't mad that you did that, okay? And I like Wanye, so cool. Marquise Bell, definitely. We already seen a small sample of Marquise Bell. He can play multiple positions. Bring him back. Also, Kevontae Turpin. You saw that Madden return with the L1, R1, whatever the hell you was. Kevontae Turpin, you may not be the greatest receiver, but boy, you was nasty in that return game. Nasty in that return game. And, hey, you can get some few packages in that pass game. You saw when Cooper Rush hit him with the slant, how quick that boy was going. Good job, front office, Will McClay, whatever, finding him, okay? Figure out some ways to get him the ball because he's explosive and he needs to have touches going forward. And then he mentioned Osa Ogadazua. Just like Dom, I'm gonna agree with him. I think Osa has outpriced himself in Dallas now. He's a damn good player. He could be starting on a lot of teams and bringing a lot of work and pain. Especially a really good team right now can really sign Osa in free agency, and he could help them take over the top. So I think Osa's gone. He's too good of a player. Dallas is going to be hella cheap. They're going to they're going to lowball him, and he's going to say bye. That's it. So from that perspective of all those players, I'm with all that. Dom, so shout out to him again on that. Shout out to Cooper Rush playing. He played a good game yesterday. I was mad Mike McCarthy didn't sprinkle more Trey Lance in that game and made it obvious when he did it. I felt like he could have sprinkled more in that game. And going forward, you still need to sprinkle him in. You get what I'm saying? Just love the way the effort. I love the effort of the boys. Like I said, I can't stand the front office. I can't stand the Joneses. They're in the front office. But I love my Cowboys. So I'm going to always feel good when the Cowboys win a game, especially if it's against my hated rival. I ain't want them to really lose that game, but I felt like they were. But shout out to that great defensive performance. Shout out to Michael Parsons because I felt like he really held it down on the defense and really made the turn the way it did. Just great job going into Washington, beating them frauds. And I told y'all about Dan Quinn. I said Dan Quinn, he a good coach early. First couple years, Dan Quinn going to be good, but he going to fall off after that. And I'm just saying, nobody's scared of Dan Quinn as a coach. I'm sorry. I ain't never going to be scared of Dan Quinn as a coach. Never will. Even though he did a good job here in Dallas, I ain't scared of no Dan Quinn. And you know what? Just shows that we thought you was frauds, and you were. And you are. And it's good to see Washington get your ass kicked. So I'm good on that. So I think that's it. I don't really think I got nothing really to say about it. I had my rant on the Joneses. That ain't changed. My thoughts on them ain't changed one bit. But it was good to see them Cowboys to get a dub. It was good to see that. I was happy about that. And we'll see what happens on this Giants game. Like I said, I know we want to get a high draft pick. I know all those things want to happen. But you're probably going to beat the Giants too. You're probably going to beat Carolina. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Because at the end of the day, so many people tell me Dallas drafts well anyway, so we shouldn't be tripping. Right? Oh, and shout out to Mozzie. Shout out to the Michigan players. Schoolmaker, I still ain't thinking you a guy. You ain't a guy for a second round. You're not a guy. But if you're comparing adding with Jake Ferguson, I'm with that. But I like the Span kid. He's stepping up, so he was undrafted, so he gonna be cheap. So I like what he brings to the table too. But Schoolmaker ain't no difference maker to me. But okay, you played all right. Mozzie, I still got my doubts about you, but you played well. I think you had 3 games this year where you played well, and you still keep fighting. And that's what I like about you. You keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And as long as you do that, I'm with you, Mozzie. All right? So I think that's it. Cowboys got the dub. I feel good. You beat the damn Washington Redskins to me. Y'all still Redskins, even though you Commanders. Y'all some hoes to me. Excuse my language. F y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not in a disrespectful way. It's in a fun way. But F the Commanders straight up. Glad Dallas whipped your tails in Washington. Feels so good. And it's just going to be a good week. Even though I'm busy as hell, I'm frustrated because we getting so many damn people here. And my coworker called off. But them Cowboys winning makes it all the better. All right? Big Game James. I'm out. Peace. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.